This is the all-new BMW M8 Competition Coupe. That's a mighty introduction for a mighty car, and we're going around Portimao, which, as far as I can tell, is a pretty mighty track too. And we'll get to that in a moment, but just for a second, let's take a look first at what this fastest BMW series production car is. It's this, the M8 Competition Coupe with 616 horsepower and 0 to 60 in 3.2. It's the fastest thing that BMW currently makes on four wheels. And under here, it's the latest in high-tech go-fast capability, including adaptive dampers, ceramic brakes, clever structural bracing implements, and this impossibly small all-wheel drive power transfer unit that can, with a button press, totally disengage the front wheels for your power sliding pleasure. And if you fancy pleasure of the top-down form, then you can have the M8 Competition Convertible like this one. And there's an M8 Grand Coupe coming with a similar silhouette but 4 doors. But if you want the fastest BMW, the Competition Coupe is probably what you're after. And I think we'll start with a lay of the land from a BMW Pro driver to orient us a little bit with Portimao and a few features of the car.
Usually the settings I prefer is Sport, without overdoing with Sport Plus and without underdoing with Comfort, because it's a sports car. And I prefer four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Actually, not the four-wheel drive Sport, because four-wheel drive is rather the more perfectly balanced car. The four-wheel drive Sport, the rear wheelbase thing is, of course, fun mode, but not necessarily the fastest mode. And well, the crazy thing about these cars is the handling is so easy that it's like possible for non-experienced drivers to go at pretty decent speed. So it's just crazy.
And speaking of non-experienced drivers, now it's my turn. We'll start with a slower lap so I can talk to you and try to put you in the driver's seat, and you can see Portimao out the back behind us.
We're good to go?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I was just out with a pro driver in front of me. There's still a pro driver in front of me. They set the pace to make sure that these cars stay in one piece. And so on the first lap, me and the M8 had a really interesting moment where at first you get on it hard and heavy, and it makes you very aware very quickly of how brutally quick and responsive it is. Almost, for someone like me, I'm not a race car driver, I'm just a reporter that gets to do things like this once in a while. It was a little intimidating off the bat. However, from that point on, once you're aware of what the car can do, very, very easy to get in the zone for a novice driver, an experienced novice driver like me, around a track I've never been to, in a car I've never driven. The overwhelming sensation is just that you have a lot of car to sort of grow into here as your capability levels come up. But at the same time, the car never really feels like it's bothered by being operated at a lower rate of speed. It's just happy to be driven as quickly as you like and as quickly as quick looks like for you. Four-wheel drive system, only sending power to the front beyond a very small amount as a sort of last resort. Very rear-wheel drive feel to this thing. And the sound of that V8 engine, twin turbocharged for 625 horsepower, unbelievable. Never get used to feeling like it's gonna come off the ground going over that steep hill. Man, these brakes are just incredible. Because of this new braking system module, which is lighter, and it's a brake-by-wire system, allows them to actually bring the braking feel of the car into the realm of those different systems that you can adjust the feel and the setting of the steering, the suspension, the transmission, throttle, and so on. You can actually now adjust the brake feel of the car. And beyond how powerful these carbon ceramic brakes are, what really impressed me the most about anything driving this is just the absolutely ferocious bite. You really dive into them, they're right there all the time. I'm going 190 kilometers an hour right now. I wouldn't have to raise my voice for a conversation if I didn't want to. Here we go. Listen to that. You look at this car and you might feel like it's going to feel heavy and sort of massive underneath you, and that's absolutely not the case. It feels definitely lighter than I was thinking it would. Very eager, very unbothered, very flattering. It's a sports car you can kind of drive and learn at any pace you like, and you're still getting a hell of a show. And we're pitting in. Whew. You know, if you want to watch a video on the fastest lap time, I'm not the video to watch. What I can tell you is just kind of a guy off the street driving a car like this. It's a machine that lets you learn and lets you drive at the pace that you choose, and it just puts on a hell of a show for you, no matter what that looks like for you.
So I guess my final thought is that it's sort of hard to tell you what this car's personality is like, because you can adjust just about everything there is that has anything to do with how it feels and responds. And I suppose that means that, in a way, the M8's personality is meant to just be a mirror image of your personality on any given drive. This car has a very wide spectrum of driving manners, and you can toggle and toy and fiddle with all of them. And if you're more of a novice track day driver like me, then that means that you can dial things into a lovely blend of safe but thrilling, where the car responds a little less suddenly, and where the stability control sits on its hands unless you totally muck things up, and where you can safely push the limits a little or a lot. And when you need some more capability, just readjust the systems to taste. Whether you're a novice, a pro, or somewhere in between, your ideal driving partner is just a few clicks away, and you're in for a hell of a show. Thanks for watching.